doing school? Excellent. Oh, you just got back? What's your eat?
Still down at the city council.
Probably.
We got railroad
all
access.
in one place. All in, yeah, we have railroad tracks, all in one,
We have
yes.
railroad access. We have two
And
of our
docks.
larger units that have spurs off of the railroad line. One of them that actually comes right inside one of our buildings.
Do they use those roads still?
No, but it also would take would be a fee with Conrail to get them activated again.
I mean, it's nothing, we have no problems here. The only thing that we have to conquer is the city, and that's not even, we don't even have to conquer them.
Convince them.
Right, we have to convince them. What they want from us is a plan. They want a proposal. They want to see what we're going to do, and is it viable? Is it going to be good for the city of Detroit? And I don't really think that, I don't want them to make this decision alone. I want the entire city of Detroit to make that decision, because this is, to me, such an exciting project. And Dominic, our president, who you'll all meet here shortly, and Ken is our general manager, all of us are excited. I mean, can you imagine pulling up to a place like this a few years from now and having this be a 3.5 million square foot complex of shops, stores, small businesses, industries, larger industries, distributing manufacturers? We have a distributor right now. It's a warehouse distributor?
Astor Warehouse.
Astor
Yeah,
Warehouse?
in Detroit, they're the second largest international importer and exporter. They're bonded exporters.
All over the world, they do work.
Are they looking at moving here?
They
They
are
are
here.
It's
They
a
are
current
here already?
tenant,
Oh, okay.
a long-term tenant. They've been with me for about 30 years.
We have, yeah, we have mechanics of all different sorts. In here, like when I need something, like I need picture frames for this article. You wanna know where I have to go? To the 3rd floor.
We got a tenant that makes picture frames. He's in that business.
It's a small business.
We need
It's-
roll-up doors for tenant units. We got a door company.
It's, yeah, we've got a door company here.
We need electrical supplies. We got 2 electrical companies. here.
When we hire guys who come in here, say we have a maintenance guy, and he can't afford work boots, we go to this distributor that he was just a large distributor. One of the things that they do is they distribute shoes. We'll go over there and get shoes for him. I won't leave here to buy anything if I don't have to, because I want, people to support us, and I'm going to support them. And we keep everything right here. And the bigger this place gets and the more tenants that come in here, we will know you won't have to leave. You just won't have to leave for anything. And the revenue for the city of Detroit on that alone would be really something, really something. I couldn't even begin at this point to give you numbers, because I have no idea what kind of space that we're going to be using, and how we're going to divide it. I mean, that depends on who comes here and who wants what. If we have a space that for retail shops in the front that, maybe somebody wants 3 small stores, or maybe they want 1 large store, and so as far as dividing things up in that manner, right now we can do things however we want them done. We're in the beginning stages that it's like raising a child. If the child has just been born, you have the option of making that child whatever you want it to be. And I want the whole city to come in here and decide, what shop do you want here, And we're gonna do things like community-based programs such as St. Vincent de Paul. I know that they probably need space for a lot of things, and I would like to do something for them, you know. And I'm gonna use all Detroit-based people. The architect that I just spoke with, I grew up with his sister. He's from Detroit. Both of his parents were professors at Wayne State. All of their children went to Wayne State. I'm only using people from Detroit.
See, we're all born and raised Detroiters ourselves.
My dad was a Detroit cop for 25
I
years.
was born 2 blocks from here. I was born on Canton.
Yeah.
Lived on Iroquois, Varju. I'm a born and raised East Sider. You know, and that's what we want. We want Detroit. We want to be part of the Detroit Renaissance.
And I don't want the city to decide what we should do. Although they have the final say, the more support I have from the people of Detroit, obviously, the more influence we're going to have. And that's really what I want, because I want this place not to be for the city, but for Detroit. And I don't want, you know, I mean, imagine a place of this size. If you go to California and you say Motor City, anybody is going to tell you that's Detroit. And this plant is where Detroit got the name Motor City from. So if it could have gotten that far, that fast, that big, and still to this day hold on to that title,
Let's bring it back.
let's bring it back. It hasn't died. You cannot bury what has not died. We have not died. This city, this place has a soul. And I am not going to let anybody bury it. It just needs some air and some nurturing, and it'll grow. We don't have any barriers. We don't have any, you know, the building isn't ready to fall apart. It's structurally as sound as it was, you know, just about the day it was built, because it's solid concrete and steel. And so as far as that goes, we have a lot to work with. We don't have any major problems, such as environmental or just financial or anything. We have the means to do this. Let's pull together and do it.
Well, see, I brought the team here that can get us started. I'm in a tricky position with the mayor, to the extent that he's been waiting on me for 4 years, just like everybody else. This is the end of the result of the 21-year project. I ain't made a dime. I stopped burglarizing, but I'm known as the burglar king back in the 60s and 70s. But I jumped off on this non-project tangent and I can't get off. I know the key people in all organizations and how to organize these different type of groups. See, the administration is not going off. They're going with the crowd. Whoever got the crowd, that's how it's going to go. When I read the article, they tripped, I almost threw it away. And all of a sudden it hit. What am I going to do down the road for the plan we developed? See, basically, this is where we're located at. Down the street at the corner, that's 30,000 square feet. It's okay for the administrative, the training, the videotapes, the communications, the computer program, everything that we're doing. And it's an entry point. But once they go through the training cycles we get ready to set up, where do they go next? And this is where the mayor's coming in. 3.5 million square feet is more than adequate. The state of Michigan, by being an election year, need to be talking about this particular situation we're developing right now. And I've got the contacts to do it. It's just I need, you know, a few questions, you know, cleared.
So you need a place for this to grow.
Yes.
And
I need
you
a place for the people to apply the brick and mortar program trades that they learn to put a brand new front on it, brand new insides. As a way to each training cycle to, you know, work with the state. The state has got $42 million. So what I brought here was to answer everybody's question, where the money gonna come to pay for this? I've got, my program is called Workfare to Websites. What we're doing is taking welfare recipients, teaching them well HTML programs, and then taking them all the way up to computer programming, assembling computers. Okay. I've got support from Computer Warehouse, and ABC Warehouse, and other different commercial suppliers that want to support the program too. In other words, the private sector, we got that support available. If we can come up, as you said, with a game plan. But I found out today on the way over to his house, and I talked to some people that were interested in some property, and they said, hey, well, don't sign no lease or nothing, that this situation is under litigation as to the ownership of the property. Whoa, wait a minute.
This
wait.
place?
Yeah.
No,
By being in this enterprise zone, I was told it was about 71 people here.
we're in the Renaissance zone, and what that means is that we don't pay any taxes for 12 years.
Okay.
Now, let me tell you as far as ownership what happened. 4 years ago, this place was bought for back taxes.
Okay.
And it's a state historical site. You can only tear down a state historical site with the permission of the owner. It's unfortunate for us that the city owns the property.
Mm-hmm.
We would like to change that. And our company, we have been in here for 2 weeks, Dominic and I. We bought the management company that's in management of the plant. And our company would like to buy the plant.
Mm-hmm.
And first reason for that is to assure its safety, because you cannot do anything if you're not sure what's going to become of it. So I want to assure its safety, first of all. Then we can start on our project, and we'll come up with, we'll have our proposal. And we'll start building as far as people and projects. And you're just a godsend right now. You could not have come to us at a better time. And that's kind of how we're getting started at the moment. So we want to secure this place.
Okay, well, see, what I would need...
And what we need to do to buy it from the city is they're not real concerned about the money. What they're worried about, again, is what's your proposal? What are you going to do with it? They want to see the same thing that we do. They want to see this place boom. They want to see it become something great. They don't want to see a bunch of storage units. They don't want to see, just a broken down place that keeps deteriorating, which was absolutely not what we want to do. We want to do the,
Bring it alive. Yeah.
bring it
Yeah,
alive.
exactly.
And so we need supporters and people such as yourself to say, hey, I'm in. I'm in. Basically, and that's why I say you're just a godsend.
Yes.
Well, see,
So do you
basically...
have,
Pardon me, my bad.
no, do you, in order to do that, do you have to have advertising and stuff like that? Or are you just going from,
Well, we're at such the beginning
It's
stages
just a
right
warehouse,
now.
I believe their offices are in Warren.
This article was the first contact that we've had with anyone.
No,
It
just when
came
they
as a
need
surprise.
either
We
load
had
or
been here
unload
just a
machinery.
few days. See, what had happened was we had a deal going on
also
with the
knows
owner of
it's,
P&P Management.
Hang on, let me get to my
The
desk.
people
I
who
can get you that.
managed
Hold
this
on.
place. And his name was Ed, and Ed passed away in the middle of the deal. And his wife, Dawn, who was, as you might well imagine with 3 children, beside herself. Ed had no life insurance. And so she wanted to hurry up and get the deal over with, as well as, we did. So we just, right away, we just closed the deal. She had no idea. Ed was in here physically running this place every day, and she had no idea what was going on. Right, and so rather than see it fall apart in a matter of a week, we came in as fast as we could. And completely unprepared. And another reason was because we wanted to get in here before, we thought the best way to get in, to buy this place was to get into the management position, which is why we had initially started the deal to begin with. Because we have to get in here, we have to find out what we have to work with.
What is your background before getting into the management position here?
Work for a company called Super One, and what Super One does is, it started out as buying and selling real estate, but really, and actually, this is such a complicated part of the story. This is where it kind of starts taking backflips. That you might want to talk to Dominic about, because that's his department. I work for Super One as a project manager and a PR representative, so that's always been, and I'm a bodyguard. That's always been my job.
Okay.
He can tell you more about the operations and what he had decided to do and what his what
What
his
was the
idea
Packard
was. Well,
plan?
I saw
Yeah.
the place, I had a friend here, and I saw this place, and I was just astounded, and I said, you really need to take a look at this place, it's really
Looking at
stunning.
inside and looking on outside is two different things.
Right.
It is, isn't it?
Right, well, it was stunning to me,
Mhm.
just absolutely stunning, and of course, being a project manager, I came up with 500,000 ideas, and he said, oh, he got here, and it took him all of 5 minutes, he looked around, and just the same thing. Everybody that walks into this place and goes through this plant has the same reaction, so that's how that developed.
Okay.
We're kind of in a bit of a new ballgame with this, but it's going so well. Even at this point, we have had no complications. It's going so well that I'm frightened. I have been on a lot of projects and a lot of deals, and I'm telling you, this, even for its size, has had the least problems of any deal I've ever had to deal with. Any deal I've ever done. It's had the
That's great.
least problems. Where was I? Something about the city. We needed to get in here into a management position, so that's what we did. And obviously found right away that it was very viable, very viable. And so we need to put together a proposal for the city. And once we have that proposal together, I was on the phone with James Jarvis, and I'm having him come out. He'll be here. He's going to take him about a week and a half to get out here, but he's going to get out here. He's going to take a look at it, bring another architect with him that does larger projects, and tell us what we can do right away, what our major problems are, which I know are going to be very few, and start attacking them. Just start attacking them. And by the time we're done, wait till you get the artist rendering of what we want this place to look like. We are finding that the buildings surrounding us, some of them have been sided in like the industrial aluminum. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Well, I'm thinking this stuff looks real good. And I thought, this place is huge and it's just going to cost us a fortune. It's not. This stuff is cheap and it's going to cost nothing. I mean, they did a building over here next door that's just enormous in size, and it cost them like $20,000 to do the whole thing.
Wow.
And I was really shocked, and it looks
It looks
fabulous.
great.
So we don't have to, the pieces or what have you, we don't have to replace those and come up with, it's not going to be costly cement work. What we need to do is just secure it, just sort of like what they did with the bridges. Secure it, make sure that what's loose is not going to be a problem in the future, and just like you would a house, side it. And we need to side it, and what we'll have is a brand new siding. That's going to look beautiful, right there. The windows shouldn't be a real big problem. As far as industrial sites go, most of the industrial people have wanted to work on those themselves, because some want to do plexiglass, some want to cover them up completely because they don't want anyone to be able to see in. Some of the larger plants that have heavier equipment are on the ground floor, and they don't want people to be able to look in. So they cover up the windows, or for whatever other purposes. We have a distributor here that distributes Cabana potato chips and other kinds of snacks. So, they're on, obviously, they have to
And
be
the
on the
book
ground
companies in
floor.
here too, I think they were, some of the distributors for magazines.
Nothing.
We
I
have,
think well, some of it moved out, but some is still here. I
we
think.
have one that does that. I don't know if it's the same one, but we do
It's the
have
same
one
one,
that
I think, on
distributes
the end down.
different magazines and recipe books and things of that nature. They have a relatively small unit, but some people like we have the Packard Club is here, and for all the Packard cars. Now, where do they go if they do something to this place? I mean, it's the Packard Club. Come on.
How many cars are there?
That's
Quite a few.
that's a good question. I don't know the exact count.
That'd be neat to
But
see 'em.
new members come in every month.
Oh,
They get
really?
new members, yeah. Just had a guy here. This club is goes all over the world. This is not just limited to Detroit or Michigan or
Wow.
this country
Mm-hmm.
at all. It's all over the world.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah, see, so we have, it's out there. It's as if they were all connected at one time. And somehow no one bothered to keep them connected. So, it seems like it's gonna be a real huge project, but it's not. It's a matter of just throwing lines out to people and letting them know we want them back.
So then would you be interested in having, what's we say, gotta see how you put it together, maybe like having it announced, so people to kind of know that you're trying to
Yeah?
re-renovize the Packard,
Yes.
because
Yes.
the reason I was saying it because, they have the Martha Jean radio station, it's a community thing. Then the council, you'll hear, he's always interested in things coming back into the city, although they didn't want him for the what was that thing, the Kmart thing, he wasn't particular, but it was really helping bring jobs back into the city. So then I think he and with Blackwell would be very important, really, as two people that you would really want to really like, because they would really help push it, you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
And
I agree.
then there's one other lady named Ernestine Gordy that works through with the city airport, that really connecting, with a lot of,
Absolutely, I am not going to limit this. The only way I will limit this is to say that if you are not interested specifically in the city of Detroit as an interest,
I understand.
Good afternoon, Packard.
if you are not interested specifically in the people of Detroit,
No, he's not even in here.
I don't
No.
need your
Okay, I
help.
understand.
However good your intentions may be, you have
No
to have an
problem.
interest in the city, in the people of the city. This is too big a project, and it means too much to too many people to have it trivialized as just another business deal. I don't want it to become that. I want it to be a heartfelt issue by everyone, because I think it is that. And it definitely can be. I mean, there are people who, because it is such a big place, if you open a small business that ordinarily may not survive on your average street or your average corner, would survive here simply because you have the traffic to support it. And with the tourism that we're going to be getting, let's use it. If all these people are going to come from other places to this city to spend their money, well, by God, I'm going to build things and give them more to spend their money on. They will buy whatever is in front of them. If they want tourism, let's give it to them. Let's give them a place they can go. And if you go to Vegas, Vegas is great. Everything is right there. Well, they did that for a reason. You don't want to spread things out. If they come here and everything's here, well, where else do they need to go? And that goes as well for the industries. If you have other industries in other cities that need a hookup, well, call Packard. Let's not, because now I don't want to run all over Michigan to get what we need. Let's just go to Packard. They've got, we use this, we need this, and we need this. Well, they've got it. They've got all three of them, so why don't we just go to one place?
See, Robin, while Patty is here, bottom line, you're trying to reach millions of people, you gotta have a communication system.
I agree.
For a direct type situation, to tie into this web development project we put together. See, what the whole concept of the nutshell is that we're getting ready to deal with kindergarten to the senior citizens, much less welfare recipients, on training them basically how to become marketable and employable. Okay. The word got to get out. The community got to have a feel that they involved in it, and that's where the communication lines come in.
Well, it's about the community.
But say a whole bunch of headaches. Common council and the mayor are going to get along. It's a bunch of internal politics. Everybody wants the spotlight. I don't like politics. I was there and I jumped out of it. See? And I see y'all are forcing me to go back into politics. What I need basically is photographs. I need floor plans. I need to sit down with whoever's going to be in charge to help me write that proposal where the community can have input in it through this web network. So we're getting ready to put 500 people out on the street in uniforms and coveralls and passing out flyers with web numbers on it, automated line attendance system to be able to supply people with the vision that you just got to explain it, to get them involved. Community meetings and organization. I need a tour of the building. I can't take the building to the community.
Right.
But if it's put in the proper format with the right telephone lines and the right projects, it'll grow from there. It's just that simple. The state, as I was saying, it's got $42 million just in Detroit. But we just don't have to be a local development or training project when you got a facility that a person can learn the trade. Here, my senator representatives here, and replicate the same thing any place else. What I didn't bring was one copy. But this is the program in a nutshell. If you substitute or just add WNNT behind ETA, there's a whole gist of the program, or where this money is coming to pay for it. The city is sitting there, they got a tendency to sit on money because people don't protest and ask for it.
And this is all for the people of Detroit.
Yeah, state of Michigan. See, what I'm trying to do is to leverage this our situation where we're at down the street. See, we're already going to have 500 people coming through there a month. We're going to be open 24 hours.
That's
On the placement end, this is what England would be interested in and what Flag would be interested in. This campaign initiative now, if we can get it together before November the 9th. This is, people here are representative of local tradespeople that's got different businesses, operating businesses in need space, or got the expertise and other political contacts so we can bring people together. But we need to know a master plan. What are your projections? You know, what's the floor layout? The artist redemption drawing you were talking about, to get busy. See? Nobody is going to buy a
So
pig
we
in the
need-
poke.
we need
Everybody's
to
looking
have
at that
we need to
35
have a
pig.
prepared meeting.
Bottom line.
Yeah, we need to
I
have
just
a
brought you the
prepared
sample
meeting.
of where the money's coming from. Y'all not the richest people in the world, but the state and the government is. The money is there. If we can come up with a cooperative effort that would involve the community and let the politicians, get the sunshine and the spotlight for introducing.
And do it as a whole. I like
The whole
that idea.
Nope,
I
no
like
problem.
that idea.
But see, all they're looking at right now is where's this $15 million coming to tear it down at. See? And that $15 million will go a long way.
Actually, that was a misquote, that 15 million.
It's quite higher than that because what the state of Michigan did is they listed this as a brownfield.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm not sure if everybody in this room is exactly aware of what a brownfield is. What a brownfield is an abandoned former automobile manufacturing facility. That's the legal description of a brownfield. Well, when they first came down here from the state, the EPA inspectors thought this was a brownfield. When they came here and seen that it was an actual occupied, almost thriving business complex, they went back to the state and said, wait a minute, there's people working there, there's businesses there. So it was like put on the back burner for 6 months. Then they came back on orders from the state to go ahead and brownfield it out anyway. That's when we started getting a picture of, to give you an example, I've been with this company for 14 years, okay? Back in 1990, we were in the process of getting a renovation loan. Turner Construction was going to do the renovations here, the same ones doing Tiger Stadiums, casinos, all that. As part of it, I asked them at that point, if we decided, Turner Construction, I asked them, if we decided to tear it down and build new,